I want to apprise the nation on where we are with the passport administration reforms, which we launched on the 28th of April this year, when we rolled out the ICAO-compliant chip-embedded passports. I am pleased to announce to you that since the rollout, as at yesterday, close of day yesterday, the 11th of November 2025, 215,807 Ghanaians have successfully applied and received chip-embedded passports, 215,807 across our country, all 16 regions. This is an impressive number, and it demonstrates that the rollout is working and many Ghanaians are availing themselves for the new chip-embedded passports. I'm also delighted to report that so far our novel courier delivery to the doorsteps of Ghanaians has assumed nationwide coverage. And so Ghanaians in all 16 regions are receiving their passports via courier. And what is really remarkable about this development is that these deliveries are taking place without extra charges. We have worked all of this in the passport application fee, and so no one is paying delivery fees. And I want to commend the two courier companies we are using, Ghana Post and Shark Express, for the very professional output. So far, Ghanaians are commending the professionalism, the dedication, and the high standards that these courier companies have brought to bear. I'm also delighted to confirm that our 24-hour operations at the Passport Head Office have commenced and are proceeding, and I want to commend our colleagues who are really working tirelessly to ensure that these passport administration reforms are implemented successfully. And I use this opportunity to commend them for their industry, their patriotism, and their support for the forward march of our country and this ministry's image. It is also important to state that our e-tracking system has been fully operationalized, and so you are able to know the status of your application. Has it been approved? Has it been printed? Has it been delivered to the courier company? Is it in transit? Is it close to you? Are you now able to receive the passports? You are able to follow these real-time tracking. And I want to commend the private service provider assisting us, Empath, assisting us in this regard. And it is important to stress that so far all of these passport administration reforms are being spearheaded by Ghanaian companies. This is a Ghanaian story, and I think that we all have to be proud about what our companies are doing, particularly led by the state-owned Ghana Post. There are many people who at the beginning of this reform thought that Ghana Post would let us down and that they may not have the wherewithal to succeed. But I'm really proud that they have let the critics and the cynics down. Still on the reforms, I'm also pleased to confirm that all the backlogs we inherited, in excess of 40,000, have been cleared. There are now no backlogs. When you apply for your passport, you receive your passports under 15 days, as we promised. You don't go and join a long queue because of a backlog. The backlog of over 40,000 has been cleared. And I want to commend a very, very dedicated team led by Acting Director, Mr. Amantana. He's been working tirelessly, and I really am inspired by his commitment and dedication. Our maximum 15 days pledge we made to all Ghanaians. When you apply for the passports under ordinary applications, not expedited applications, we made a pledge to you that under expedited, we will work to deliver under 7 days. We have kept that pledge. If it is an ordinary application, we will deliver under 15 days, unless your application is flagged that there is a documentation you are lacking, there is some credibility challenge, we are not sure you are Ghanaian, or your information is not adding up, there is a gap, then your application will be put on hold. But once you receive confirmation that your application has been approved, under 15 days, we are delivering. And I love the Ghanaian media. You are very independent, fearless, and you run your own checks. So these are not claims I can make without verification. And so I am sure that the media can confirm that. I am also delighted to highlight that we are carrying out all of these reforms with an enhanced value of the Ghanaian passport. So far, we have secured new visa waiver agreements and important negotiations. We seek to enhance the value of the Ghanaian passport. And if you look at the new visa waiver agreements that Parliament and Cabinet have all endorsed, you would notice that we have added Serbia, Mozambique, Colombia, Antigua and Barbuda, Morocco, Algeria, Sao Tome and Principe, the Commonwealth of Dominica, Angola, Trinidad and Tobago, to the list of countries that Ghanaians can travel to without visas. These countries have various categories, some all passports, some of them require you to be in possession of diplomatic or service passports. Ghana currently has an impressive 42 list of countries, and we'll make that available to you. 42 countries that you can travel to if you are holding Ghanaian passports, visa-free. So you'd see that the value of the Ghanaian passport has been really enhanced. I need to emphasize that the enhancement of Ghanaian passports has also led to attempts by foreigners to lay hands on our passports. And when we delve into the three significant areas we'll be discussing today, you will see the tremendous effort we are making to make sure that foreigners do not lay hands on our passports. This threat has been further enhanced due to recent restrictions that the United States imposed under the Trump administration on countries they say have largely overstayed, have a high rate of overstays, support terrorism, harbor terrorists, and pursue what the U.S. believes to be inimical to their strategic national interests. You'll recall that Ghana, unfortunately, because of visa overstays, faced that restriction together with some 35 other countries. I am pleased that so far, Ghana is the only country in that group of 36 countries that has successfully negotiated our way out of that. And so, though this is good news, what it also means is that with this positive development, there will be pressure on our passports. Many in the sub-region in particular will want to lay hands on Ghanaian passports so they can have 5-year US visas. The World Cup is coming. We are conscious of that. They would want to take advantage and go to the US, Canada, or Mexico. And so we want to assure our international partners that, as we did indicate, we are doing everything in our power to keep the sanctity of the Ghanaian passport intact and not to be vulnerable to pressures from external elements who seek to lay hands on our passport. I am also pleased to confirm that the promise I made in Parliament earlier this year, that by close of 2025, all 16 regions in Ghana will have passport application centers. We are on course to fulfilling that promise. Recently, we opened a new passport application center in the Upper East region. The good people of the Upper East region, about 1.3 million people, have been living without a passport application center. And to apply for passports when they are done with the online application, and it's time for the in-person biometric verification and facial capturing, they have to travel 4 hours to Tamale before they can have their biometrics. Then return to Bolga, Boku, and other parts of the Upper East region. And when they are told that their passports are ready, do another 4-hour trip to Tamale to receive their passports. Now they have a new story. They have a new reality. They, for the first time in the history of the Upper East region, they have their passport application center ready. The good people of the Upper East region now have a passport application center. We met 7 regions without passport application centers, the Upper East region and the 6 newly created regions. We have put in place measures. The procurement processes have been completed. We have a standing committee led by our very hardworking and dynamic Director of Estates, Madam Salamatu, who is famous for always having very stylish hairstyles. That is her call to fame in the ministry. So anytime you see the director with the most distinguished, flamboyant hairstyle, you know that that is our Director of Estates. She's been working very hard, and she tells me that the committee will be ready with 3 additional passport application centers to be commissioned this month of November. And then the final 3 will be commissioned in December. So the Salamatu committee is very much on course to assist me in fulfilling my pledge. I do not want to be dragged to the Committee on Government Assurances, which I used to chair, that I have not kept my promise to Parliament. It will be a nice payback time for some people, and I don't think I want to give them that pleasure. So we assure the Ghanaian people that by close of year, all 16 regions, we believe that passport application should be convenient. It should be easily accessible. Passports are official documents for travel. They also, very importantly, confirm your nationality. They confirm your identity. And so passports are so important, they are so valuable, that it should be a right for all Ghanaians. Passports should not be restricted to only a few in big cities or a few capitals. it should be possible for Ghanaians living everywhere in every region, and even Ghanaians abroad, to easily have access to passports. And that is our philosophy, and that is what we are working strenuously to achieve. I also wish to declare very boldly that the era where the so-called Goro boys were running amok and calling the shots and dictating when people will get passports and how they'll get passports, that era is over. We have successfully waged a war against Goro boys, and they have beat a fast retreat. And we have made their industry collapse. And we have stated clearly that anybody found attempting to resurrect that whole Goro boys phenomenon will be promptly apprehended and prosecuted, because this is an illegal enterprise, and we are not going to allow any nefarious activity to undermine all of these far-reaching reforms, positive developments that staff of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have been spending sleepless nights delivering. We are not going to allow a few external, dubious-minded, nefarious elements to undermine the gains that we are making. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have, in the first part of this briefing, enumerated the far-reaching, impressive passport administration reforms that we have been pursuing since we assumed duty in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, permit me to transition to the 3 milestones I talked about at the beginning of my remarks. Tomorrow, the 13th of November, 2025, a new fees and charges regime will come into effect. Parliament has approved the new fees and charges, which, on the instruction of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama and Cabinet, was laid in the House. During those deliberations, our ministry had the opportunity to amend the fees for passport applications. You will recall that there had been a 400% increase in passport application fees, which we opposed when we were in opposition. And you recall that it was not well received by Ghanaians. The data also shows that it has led to a significant reduction in patronage of Ghanaian passports. Many Ghanaians found the increase way above their affordability levels. And so we pledged that we will carry out a significant reduction when elected. I am delighted to confirm that we have kept that promise, and the new fees and charges, which comes into effect tomorrow, the 13th of November, you will see a 30% reduction in the passport application fees from 500 cedis to 350 Ghana cedis. This is a very significant reduction. We take the view that passport applications must be affordable and it must be accessible to all Ghanaians as far as possible. I would like to use this opportunity to confirm that nothing has changed with this reduction in the fees. There are some who may be thinking that because of the reduction in fees, the quality of the passports will reduce. No, it's the same quality, the same chip embedded passports. We are also not rolling back on the reforms. The passports will still be delivered to you without a fee. You don't have to pay the courier service providers. It is the same arrangement as used to exist during the 500 cedi period. And we want to emphasize that. So the good people of Ghana should take note that the reduction, the 30% reduction, does not affect the quality of the passports. It's the same chip embedded passports. We are not going back to the old biometric passports. We are phasing that out. The same convenience, courier delivery, and also the same number of pages. We are not reducing the number of pages because you are paying 350 cedis. It is the same value. The value, the quality, the convenience is the same. The only thing changing is the fee, the 350 cedis. That is the only thing changing. And media, please, we want you to emphasize this point. We also want the media to emphasize that you do not need middlemen to apply for a passport. The process begins by going online to apply for a passport. And to apply for a passport, you just use your smartphone or your laptop, any computer. If you are probably a bit elderly or maybe not too conversant with technology, you can call your son or daughter to assist you. It's a very simple exercise. And we have made the application process very friendly. It's user-friendly. The interface is very, very convenient and comfortable to use. The web address is www.passport.mfa.gov.gh. www.passport.mfa.gov.gh. So the process starts anywhere you are in Ghana. You don't have to go to an application center or go to an office anywhere. A middleman, a Goro boy, you don't need them. You can apply from wherever you are. When you have applied, you've keyed in your details, and it is time for your biometrics to be captured. You will be given an appointment online with a specific date and time. It is then you physically present at a passport application center. So please take note. There's still a lot of misinformation out there. The process is simple. Using your smartphone, using any computer, you can apply from wherever, the comfort of your home. You can apply via www.passport.mfa.gov.gh, and you will be scheduled for when to appear at the passport application center to have your biometrics and your facials captured. So that is the first milestone, the 350 cedis new passport application fee, the 30% reduction. The second milestone, which we are also excited to announce, is a new service we are introducing, which has also been approved by Parliament. We included that in the new fees and charges bill. This new fees and charges, which has been approved by Parliament, you will see a special one-day passport service, which is novel, is unprecedented. We did observe that the only reason why these Goro boys it's been difficult to totally eliminate their interference is their claim that they can help you get passports in record time. And I hear their record time can be 2 weeks or 10 days. Or some of the very hardened ones can probably promise you a week. So we decided that we would really push ourselves. And even more importantly, we are conscious of the fact that there are real life circumstances that require a certain urgency. You can have emergencies. You can have a medical emergency. You have to quickly, be flown out. You can just discover in the midst of an important travel that your passport has expired, but you have valid visas. It does happen always. I've received calls from many Ghanaians who sometimes even on their way to the airport discover some of them will be at the airport and they'll be told that yes, you have a valid visa, but your passport is expiring in a day or two or has expired. You can't travel with it. And they will need a super expedited service. We didn't have that in the past unless you are really connected. You were probably a classmate of Mr. Mantana, the acting passport director, or you are his church member, or maybe his business partner. And then he may decide, if he's in a good mood, to do you some favors. We didn't want that situation to continue. So we thought that we should really push ourselves, challenge ourselves as we pursue excellence to introduce this same-day passport delivery. And I am excited to announce to you that we have put in place all the measures, the logistical arrangements, the technical work has been concluded. And from tomorrow, if you want to obtain a Ghanaian passport in 1 day, within 24 hours, same day delivery, you can get it. Once you apply, you meet the criteria, and you pay the special rate. You will agree with me that this is such a demanding regime. If you look at the workers who have to be working round the clock, because anytime you apply, within 24 hours you must get it. And then you consider our courier companies who will have to make sure that whichever part of Ghana you are, they must race against time to meet the 24 hours, because they know that there will be sanctions if they don't, if I see evidence that they are not operating within the 24 hours when people have paid the special rate. So because of the requirement, we decided, after extensive consultations, and of course, after also receiving some good confessions from those who were engaging the services of these Goro boys. We had a transaction advisor who presented a detailed report, and I have to commend our transaction advisor. He made me know for the first time how much some people pay. People were paying as much as 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 cedis for passports through these Goro boys. And those are monies not coming to the state for national development. So they don't go to the Honorable Atuforsen, finance minister, to help us construct our roads or to help us build hospitals or build schools. It goes into individual pockets. So after all of these consultations and research, we decided that 2,000 Ghana cedis is a decent sum for that 1 day super expedited service. We are saying that if you don't really have an emergency, there is no urgency, there are no exigencies that compel you to apply for that, you can still go for the efficient 350 cedis. Under 15 days, it will be delivered. But if you have an emergency, you're a businessman, an entrepreneur who has an important flight to catch, a conference to attend, a business meeting, and you just notice that you are running out of pages or you've run out of the date, the expiry date does not allow you to travel, you can afford, you just have to pay your 2,000 Ghana cedis. You don't have to be looking for who knows the foreign minister, who knows the chief director, who knows the deputy minister, who is connected to a director at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. All of those, really inconvenient processes to get to know people, which in the process makes you vulnerable to all kinds of exploitation. We are saying that this time you can just go online, apply, and same day your passport will be delivered. The earlier you apply during the day, the earlier you will receive your passport. But the promise we make to you is that within 24 hours, we have tested the system, we have done our simulations, and we can confirm to you that within 24 hours, your passport will be delivered to you. So this is a really unprecedented development, and we are delighted to roll it out. The third and final milestone, which is equally significant, that I want to bring to your attention, is the enhanced security protocols. We all agree that because of the value of Ghanaian passports and the evidence that abounds that foreigners are trying to lay hands on our passports, we need to be ahead of the threat. So we have outlined a number of enhanced security measures. I can confirm to you that we are rolling out a no-nonsense approach. Any foreigner who attempts to lay hands on our passport will be promptly apprehended and prosecuted. So far, we have rounded up 375 people who we believe are not Ghanaians. And what surprises us is that even though during the vetting by our officers, it was clear that they are not Ghanaians, they had managed to secure Ghana passports bearing Ghanaian names, names that clearly do not belong to them. And I want the passport director to bring evidence of those confiscated Ghana cards. We've confiscated 379, and we can share the data with you. And we want to build confidence and let you know that the measures we have put in place are working. These are the Ghana cards that we've confiscated over the last 10 months from foreigners, 379 of them. So it is clear that some people who are not Ghanaians want to lay hands on our passports. And they thought they could beat the system because, to go through the process, you need a Ghana card, you need a birth certificate. And they think that that is all once you have it. But with a Ghana card and with a birth certificate, you are still subjected to vetting. There is an extra layer by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to interview you, to screen you. And our officers are well trained. They are psychologists. They know when you are lying. They can tell from how you would be. I won't show you the tricks. But we know. We can tell. And we will get you. So don't try it. If you are a foreigner watching us, don't try it. Because Mr. Mantana and his team will fish you out and they will get you. So, because of this threat, we have decided to further enhance the security protocols. We have introduced a new policy, because going through the passport application data, we observed that there are some numbers, some mobile numbers, that keep recurring. How can one number, and I have the data here, I'll share with you, one number which ends 212, apply for 174 passports? Even if you are the only Ebusiapenyin with a large family, are we sure that all 174 don't have mobile phones and you have to apply for them? Or are you sure that you have 174 minors, children, who don't own phones, and so you are applying for them? So this is very suspicious. Another number that ends with 702 applied 170 times. Another one, 973, applied 160 times. Another one that ends 256 applied 123 times. We have the data. And all of these phone numbers and the owners, we have submitted their details to National Security for further investigations. What we have done is to block all these numbers in our system so they can no longer apply. And the new policy is that you cannot apply with the same phone number for more than 5 applications. Because we've looked at the average, number of minors, children you can have in Ghana, looked at the fecundity levels, and we've looked at the age at which parents allow their children to have mobile phones. And in any case, you can't claim that you are the only parent, even though we know they are single parents, but really you are not the only one who can claim to have so many minors under your care. I don't think you are operating a crèche or a kindergarten. Even that those who attend kindergarten have parents and who will apply for them. I don't think parents will ask kindergarten proprietors to be applying for passports. And in any case, when we look at the data and the faces, we look at the facial features, these are not minors we are seeing. When we look into the system, we look into our back end, we are not seeing minors. So the new policy is that it can go beyond 5. If there is really a compelling reason you think that you probably have so many children, so many minors, then send a special petition to the minister, which may not be responded to positively, unless you have really convincing reason why there should be an exception for you. What we have also done is that we have integrated all our passport application centers using modern technology, using AI. So in real time, because we did observe that some of these foreigners who attempt to obtain Ghanaian passports, when they are stopped in Kumasi, then they go to Takoradi to attempt to try. Some may go to Cape Coast, others may come to Accra. What we have done is that in real time, once you are stopped, it's identified that you are a foreigner. In that same second, it's real time, we've tested the technology. All our passport application centers across the country are alerted, and you are blocked. So you cannot move from one region to the other to attempt to beat the system and hope that probably our vetting officers somewhere else may be lenient and may allow you to go through. We have also put in place very stringent measures and sanctions for our own officers who decide to be the bad nuts. A lot of my colleagues here are patriots, very hardworking, very decent, law-abiding, but they are always bad nuts who try to give all of us a bad name. I must also put on record that in the passport administration process, it's not only the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We have reps from so many other state institutions. And I'm not saying that I cannot vouch for the other state institutions. But just as there are bad nuts here, there could be bad nuts there. What we have done is to introduce mystery applicants. So these days I am in the business of sending mystery applicants to passport application centers. And yesterday we caught one who didn't know that that applicant he was trying to extort from had been sent by the minister. And I can tell you that that officer is in very, very hot waters. The waters are so hot that he is crying and gnashing his teeth as though he was in hellfire, the hottest part of hell. So we really are covering all ground to make sure that the process is tight, that security is enhanced, that we do not compromise at all, so that we do not reduce the image, the reputation, the efficacy, and the credibility of the Ghanaian passport application process.